Hello, my name's Allie from AllisonSpokes.ca, or perhaps if you follow me on Facebook, you know that I use the name The Tarot Fairy. I had so much fun with my Halloween tarot offer last month that I wanted to try a different theme for November. So I settled on the theme of changing seasons because, well, if it's not obvious, November falls right in the middle of autumn. The days are getting noticeably shorter, and if you're living in the northern hemisphere like me, you'll see the days are getting darker, more dreary, the leaves are falling, and everything is changing. So change is something that we can all relate to. We all encounter it at various points in our lives. Some of us are a little better at embracing it than others, but whether you are struggling with a change or you're super excited to jump in and try something new, this reading is for you. So what you're about to see is the Embracing Change reading that I'm going to offer for a special price for the entire month of November. I am using 5 cards from the Shadowscapes Tarot deck and 1 bonus card from Fairies Oracle deck. So for readings that require healing or psychological advice, I always like to add at least 1 card from the Fairies Oracle. So let's turn over the first card. And this card represents, so this is the present. This is an action that we can take right now that's going to help ease our transition in this change. And I just drew the Strength card. So the action that we're being advised to take is to be brave and exhibit strength of will and patience. So we can tell maybe by the presence of this card, this change might be a bit of a beast and a bit intimidating. It's going to require a lot of willpower and bravery to stay the course and not back down or give up. And so often when courage is being called on, it means that there is risk involved. So another action that we could take is to be willing to take risks. And so we do that knowing that there's never a guarantee that we're not going to get hurt. We've got in this card, we can see, this fireball or whatever's happening in this pot here. It looks a little steamy, a little hot. So we might get burned, and our hands here, this lady's hands are very close to the lion's sharp teeth. So we might get bit, we might get burned. But if you want to be that alpha beast and stay in control, you're going to have to put yourself in that path. So be cautious. You don't want to rush things. You may be tempted to cut corners or speed things up, but this beast needs a little time to test the waters a little bit and to build, a sense of trust. So if you show kindness and compassion to yourself and to others involved, then you're going to be rewarded with respect. If you start to react out of fear or frustration or anger, these are weaknesses that are going to be exploited. So resist the urge to react from emotion. We look here, we can see a few of the birds have already been spooked. It could have been any of these things. The beast this lion may have roared really loud, spooked the birds. There's a kitty here who looks like he might be ready to pounce. There's also some fire imagery, so who knows what it was, but something spooked the birds. They've taken off. They're not going to see the benefits waiting for them at the end. So be the woman here who's showing kindness and strength and patience. That is our action. That's what is going to help us get through the change that we're currently in. Now this card here at the bottom holding us up, this is our support card. This is something we can draw in for support. So I've just pulled the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So what I get out of this card in terms of support is to take comfort in knowing that even failures are stepping stones to success. So don't be intimidated by failure, and don't let failure be a discouragement or bring you down. Failures have something to teach us and get us that much closer to success. So this card reminds us that no matter what, there's ups and downs in life. We just need to ride the wheel, roll with it, and be flexible. And something I just noticed about this card, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because the video is just a tad bit blurry, but what I see here is there's this little fairy sitting on a flower, and she's holding a little teeny tiny fairy skull in her hand, and I'd never noticed this before, but it just jumped out at me. And so what I get from that is that don't be afraid of dead ends. You know, if you choose a path and it just gets you nowhere, that's okay. Don't look at that as a failure, or that that it's never going to work for you or something like that. Just evaluate it. Where did you go wrong? Go back to that fork in the road and try the other path. It can be as simple as that. So don't let failures be a discouragement. There's comfort and support in that. Okay, so this card, so here we have the present. This card comes before, so it represents the past. So this is about things that we need to let go of. So when we're dealing with change, there's always that loss factor and a gain factor. So these things are not necessarily separate from one another. When we gain something, we often lose something, and vice versa. So for example, you know, if we take the metaphor of purging our house, we're getting rid of a bunch of stuff that we no longer need. That's a loss. We're losing those things, but in return, we gain more storage space. So with gain comes loss, and vice versa. So when we find ourselves holding on too tightly to the past, or we're not ready to let go, that's when we're in a place where we're not growing. So we need to let go in order to grow and gain. So this card I drew is the High Priestess reversed. And so what message I get from this card is that what we need to let go of is the disbelief or distrust in our own intuition. So in other words, maybe we know, or we just have a strong feeling about what we're supposed to do, or what we should be doing, or what's in our best interest, but we're ignoring it because our logical voices are overruling. So yeah, if I give you an example, let's just take a business example. You know, you've heard the term, you need to spend money to make money. And so maybe you're at the point in your business where you're like, I know what I need to do is invest in, I don't know, it could be a whole wide range of things, but you need to spend money. But your voice of reason is saying you don't have any money, there's no money to spend. So the only way you can spend money is by taking out a loan. But with that comes the risk that it might fail, and you might just end up in more debt. So you're like, no, I'm not. That's your logical voice kind of saying, this is a bad idea, I don't want to do it. So that's when our logic can interfere with our gut feelings or our intuition. But here we have the High Priestess. she's holding a pomegranate in her hand, and a pomegranate is a symbol for fertility and things to grow. So if you want to grow, then you have to let go of what is blocking that growth. So yeah, let go of that distrust. We've already talked about the need to be strong, the need to be patient, and the need to take risk and not be afraid of failures. Okay, so this card over here on the right, we have past, present, and so this is what's to come. This is what's waiting for us on the other side of this change. All right, this is a good card to be looking forward to. Okay, so what is waiting for us? What are we going to gain out of this change? The short answer is abundance and prosperity. This queen has a lot to give and a lot to share. She requires her abundance of knowledge and wealth, and she shares it with those around her. So if she's gaining an abundance of experience and knowledge, she's gonna share those secrets, and she's gonna give generously. She branches out. If she acquires a lot of wealth, then she's gonna pass that on. She's going to pay it forward. That's what the queen does. So yeah, her branches are expanding. She's got in her hand a little seed of her fruits, things that she has grown, and she's passing that on to someone else. She's got that, she's offering it to us. So yeah, this is what, and then we see, the sun and moon above her kind of glowing, making her look radiant, that there's light there, smiling on her. Yeah, good things to come out of this change, if we can face our fears and we're willing to do this. If we keep ignoring our intuition, then like I said, we're hindering growth and we're delaying that change. All right, so the last two cards are our higher guidance. So this is the things, kind of important things that we need to know about this change. It could be lessons that we get out of it, or just extra advice that we can take to help us through this time of transition. So I'll pull this one first, and I just drew, this is the moon card reversed. So pulling the moon card, I'm actually picking up on two different meanings from this card. The first one just reinforces that need to face our fears, face our nightmares. At night, it's dark, it's scary. We need to face our fears, overcome our fears. And the second thing that I see here is kind of like, I get the feeling like right now we're kind of living in this fantasy, this illusion, this place that isn't necessarily real. So either we're making a lot of excuses for ourselves to not embrace the change or fight it or what have you, or we're pretending that things are a certain way when they're really not. And so I get that because here we have this figure, and she's standing in the middle of a fairy ring. If you don't know what a fairy ring is, it's that phenomenon in nature. It really happens when mushrooms will grow in an absolute perfect circle. And so that actually happens. You can find that out in nature. And the legend is that those fairy rings are portals into the fairy realm. And if you step inside, the fairies will enchant you and use you for their own entertainment. So that's why I'm picking up on this sense of detachment from reality, pretending things are a certain way, or Yeah, like I said, it could be just making excuses, trying to find reasons why you shouldn't embrace this change. And so the message from this card is to wake up and snap out of it and come back to reality. Okay. All right, so one more card. This is the Fairies Oracle card. Another piece of advice. And I just drew He of the Fiery Sword reversed. And so, yeah, this is a reminder that we have the tools to accomplish what we need, and we've had them all along. So the sword is pointing downwards, and so to me that says that it's in the sheathed position. It's not being used. So it's time to bring out the big guns and start using them. He of the Fiery Sword, when he shows up in a reading, is calling us to action. So what he's saying is, it's quit thinking about it, quit deliberating, quit researching, quit planning, just start doing. Put things into action. Face your fears. You've got the tools you need to protect you, so use them. They're there. Okay, a couple other things I just want to talk about as I look at all the cards now that they're all flipped over, is that we have 4 out of the 5 tarot cards that are from the major arcana. And so that is an indication to me that this change, as I said before, is a beast. It's a major change. And when I say major change, it doesn't mean your whole world is going to be turned upside down, but that it could still be life-changing in that it's an internal shift. So from here on, the way you approach things, the way you think about things is going to change forever. You might look back and say, why didn't I do this earlier? This is working for me. What was I so afraid of? So this is a big change. This is major. The other thing that I notice when I look at all of these cards is that in every single card, except the Strength card, we have crescent moons. So here's one here. We have crescent moons on her shawl on either side. There is a moon behind the Queen of Pentacles, a moon above the sword, and a moon in the moon card. And so there's crescent moons surrounding strength. And so what that means to me, the moon is a symbol of feminine empowerment and goddess energy. So if you want to ease this transition, tap into that inner goddess inside of you and show your feminine strength. We have a lot of cards here, even though we're talking about using words like strength and success and prosperity. Those are often associated with a more masculine energy, but all of these cards are very feminine. So we have this feminine success, feminine prosperity, where she uses her abundance to nurture others. And here we have strength, which isn't about an aggressive strength, but a strength of will and compassion and patience. Yeah, and then there's other feminine, the moon itself is feminine, and then the High Priestess who's offering us that wisdom. So yeah, and then we're given this sword. So the He of the Fiery Sword, as it is a masculine card, but saying, yeah, you can be this female warrior, you can take this on, and here's the tools to do it. Here's what you need to guard yourself and protect yourself. It'll be okay. So there you go. That is the Changing Seasons tarot reading offer that I am offering at a special price for the whole month of November. If you liked what you saw and you're interested in your own personal Changing Seasons tarot reading, you can come to me in person by booking an appointment or go to my website, AlisonSpokes.ca, Or if you're on Facebook, if you're watching this on Facebook right now, you can go to my timeline and use the Book Now button right next to my cover photo. If you are too far away for any of that, don't worry. I do readings by email. You can just send your request for an e-reading at tarotfairy@allisonspokes.ca. So I hope I have piqued your interest and made you curious about what the cards could say to you to help you through whatever transition you're going through right now. And if you want to contact me, I'll be sure to include all my links in the show notes below. Hope to hear from you soon. Cheers!